Hello BookTube. On this Tag Thursday, I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag. I saw this on Eric Carl Anderson's channel, and I will leave a link down below along with the questions. So, question number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? No. I mean, my December TBR is to be determined. I have 6 books that I know I want to read in December that I will get to in a upcoming question. But how I read is I read one book at a time to completion. And that really doesn't allow for like a book or several books to still be in the process of being read towards the end of the year, since it'll be basically the book I need to finish at the end of the year is the last book I'll be reading at the end of the year, and I don't know what book that's going to be. Will it be one of the 6 I show? Will it be one of 2 or 3 others? I don't know. Question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? No. I don't really read like that. My TBR formation is a bit more scattershot than that. I mean, I guess you can argue in the past few years I've gravitated more towards nonfiction to history during the autumnal months. This year, October and November have been devoted to history, although I have been also reading some manga, namely Fairy Tail and 7 Deadly Sins, the last day of October. But no. Question number 3. Is there a new release that you're still waiting for? There are 3 actually. 2 that I have pre-ordered and 1 that I'm planning on picking up later when the price has gone down significantly. Hopefully the price goes up significantly. So the 2 that I have pre-ordered are The Blade Between by Sam J. Miller, which I've talked about a bit on this channel, and In the Absence of Men by Philippe Besson, which I'm picking up largely because I really liked his earlier work. What's it called? Lie With Me. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot that, but I did. So I'm looking forward to both of those, and they'll be coming out December 1st. And I won't mention them in video until the end of December when I do my monthly book haul, but you might be able to see them here in my little new book nook if I'm not in the way, which sometimes I will be and sometimes I won't be, depending on exactly on my bed I'm sitting at any given video. And then also I'm looking forward to the Ambergris novels by Jeff VanderMeer. They're going to be released in bind up or omnibus edition. I haven't really gotten on that well with VanderMeer's writing, but I'm hoping maybe Ambergris will be a good intro to it. Number 4. What are the 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I'm going to up it to 6. So over the course of this year, I've had a little more than 20 bails. And I would like to revisit some of those bails and see if maybe I'll like the books on a 2nd or 3rd reading attempt. So the 6 books, there are 3 general fiction or literary fiction and 3 science fiction fantasy. So the 3 general fiction books are Crooked Little Heart by Anne Lamott, which I started in September, and while I liked the writing and I liked the characterization, the plot progression wasn't fast enough for me to really want to continue with the book. But hopefully having another go at it will change my opinion. I also want to have another go at Blue Angel by Francine Prose. This book has haunted me for 20 years, and bailing on it is not an option. Now, what annoyed me the first time I read the book, or tried to read the book, is that Swenson is a piece of work. And also, the plot I don't think ages very well, particularly nowadays where we are far more aware that situations like this, that Swenson would likely not have been punished all that well, or at all, given the, so I'm kind of having a bit of difficulty with that. I'm not sympathizing with Swenson and his plight to really get or to agree with Prose's theme, but hopefully I can have another go at it and maybe have a better reading experience this go around, because for a book that has haunted me for nearly 20 years, it can't end like this. No. And finally, for the general literary fiction, I'm going to have another go at The Lesser Bohemians by Eimear McBride, which I really enjoyed parts of. The style, the language, but there's just something that's off-putting that I'm not happy with, and I want to have another go at it. So hopefully another go will be worthwhile. So for the science fiction and fantasy books, I'm going to have another go at Space Opera by Catherynne and Valente. This is a third attempt at a reread, and I think what puts me off is her choice of who Earth's interstellar version of the Eurovision is going to be, a washed up glam rock band, which, yes, that's usually what Eurovision attracts, but I really should be bad-mouthing Eurovision. They did bring us ABBA and Conchita Wurst. I love Rise Like a Phoenix, but anyway. So hopefully if I can get past the first bit and get to the space opera part, maybe I'll have a different opinion. Hopefully, because that I love Radiance, but this one just doesn't do it for me, and I'm annoyed by that. And I want it to be this book working as well as Radiance. Next up, I'm going to have another go at Still Crow Saga. This book was Steve Donahue had it high in his last year's list of the best science fiction novels, and I didn't get on with it, probably for rather silly reasons, now that I think about it, and I do want to have another go at it, although I am aware that Paul Krueger has been accused, and I think admitted to being rather abusive in his, or I should say he has been abusive in his personal relationships, which has caused his career to crater in the past few months. But I still want to have another go at this book. And finally, I want to have another go at The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Now, what set me off with this book is the juvenilistic sort of tone. that just galls me. But hopefully I can get past it and enjoy the book for what it is. So we shall see. And I will be reporting back over the course of December how I make out with them. I mean, the thing about my bailing is very often there will be a scene, a phrase, something relatively early in a book that will just set me off. And I will bail. But then months or years later, I will come back to the book, and whatever set me off, I will not, won't be as much of a problem, and I will love the book. And sometimes if I do manage to press through the first time around, what's after that will be wonderful. A wonderful example is Bloody Rose, where the early parts of that novel just annoy me to no end. But then once they get to the certain scene, everything after that is just amazing. So, you can never tell. Anyway, question number 5, I think is where we're at. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Well, there's those 6 right there, and whatever else I'm working on. I really need to actually think about what book I think is the best book I've read so far. I mean, it's probably that one right there, but you can never tell. We shall see. And yeah, right now I'm making no promises because I'm such a mercurial reader. Anyway, finally, have you already started making reading plans for 2021? Yes, I have. Now, whether that is a disaster waiting to happen or not, we shall see. But I do have some reading plans I want to get to. And I also need to pull down another book. Well, I won't bother with that. So, for a few years, I've been wanting to read all of the novels of Alan Hollinghurst. And so I think this coming year, I'm going to start in January with the Swimming Pool Library, and then every month following for the next 6 months, 5 months, read an Alan Hollinghurst novel. So, I've read 2 of his novels already, The Swimming Pool Library and The Spell, and I quite like them, although I did have to come back to The Spell before I really got it. But yeah, so that's one plan. I'm also planning on picking out one of the Agatha Christie omnibuses I have and reading again one novel in there a month until I finish the omnibus or collection. I'm also hoping to read the works of Yasunari Kawabata, and I'm holding up The Master of Go. It's one of my favorite Kawabata novels. I've got most of them, I think. There's a few more novels I need to pick up and some short fiction. But I do want to try to at least read a good chunk, if not all of them, next year. I also want to reread and finish the Coruscant Archive, of which The Blood Print is the first book. So I'll start this in January 2, and then a book a month until I get to The Blade Bone. Spoiler alert, it's maybe over there, along with the Partial Affair. I'm also planning on reading the entirety of the Legends of the Condor Heroes, of which A Hero Born is part 1, or the first novel. I still have to pre-order the final book in the series, which is A Heart Divided. I need to pre-order that. It comes out, I think, in January or February, so I can go and have a go at them. I'm also wanting to hopefully, once I finish those off, have another go at the series by K. Arsenault Rivera that begins with The Tiger's Daughter. I had issues with this book, but I'm, again, not happy with it, so I want to have another go at it and continue on with the rest of the series. And I also want to read the entirety of The Chorus of Dragons, of which The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons is the first novel. I think the fourth and final book in the series, at least I think it's a 4-book series, comes out in like May, so I can kind of read this one after I finish one of the other series. And I'm thinking of also participating in some readathons and booktube generated reading projects and group reads and whatever as the case may be, so we shall see how it goes. Hopefully this is a recipe for reading success and not a recipe for whatever the heck has plagued my fiction reading this year. I mean, so far this year has been rather painful for fiction reading. So hopefully I can come back in 2021. I'll be back with the fiction. So anyway, I'm about to start rambling, so I'll leave it here. And thank you, Carl, for the video. And again, thank you, BookTube. Have a great afternoon and stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow with at least weekly reads, if not also a magazine spin-off, if I feel like making that video, or I could just wed it to weekly reads. Anyway, regardless, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.